Alrighty, guys. So Hershey, basically my coming out movie, crazy. I made it just after coming out, being like a more in depth thing of how I felt, but I did it for a college project, and the college project was like, "Oh, you need to make a 5 minute film based on the director." Obviously, I chose Greta Gerwig because that was an option we could have, and obviously Barbie, and Little Women, and Lady Bird. I really love all three of them films, and I was really inspired by Barbie and a film that wasn't even made by her actually. But I'm a Cheerleader. I was inspired by that as well. I really liked writing the script for this, but actually filming it, I was like, and even with the script, I was like limited on 5 minutes. I was like, man, I want to write more. Because with coming out and the way I wanted the film, I wanted it to be more deep, but I ended up like sanitizing it and making it more simpler than it needed to be. So I ended up just not liking it. But anyways, let's get on to the actual film now. Right, I'm going to be honest. Out of all my films, this is the one I watched the least. I even watched the bloody what's it called? Um, Man Gets Mugged. I watched that one more than I watched Hershey because I'm not really that proud of it, to be honest. But yeah, I only watch it whenever my mum's like showing it off to her mates, and it's like, look at this amazing movie Ashley's made. I'm like, Mom, I've made better films, but anyways, enough of that. I first wanted to say that this like dynamic between Lewis and these other two, I forgot their names, Ethan and what's his name? I don't know. Is inspired by high school and my like dynamic sort of when I was in high school. Like I had proper homophobic friends, and it was like I was like a closeted transgender, and it was like, oh yeah, I totally hate those trans guys. It's like, yeah, it was like that, and it was like exactly like this was, maybe a bit more extreme. This is like a lighter version of what I was like in high school, but yeah. I made it lighter with, especially with the Lewis character, and obviously the peak foreshadowing him having the transgender flaggish shirt because he's a closeted trans. He's actually a she. But yeah, I made it lighter because it would just be completely out of nowhere. I feel like it's harder to make completely homophobe, transphobe, all that absolute extreme right wing character transition to a completely left wing character within the same 5 minutes without it just being a completely ridiculous comedy. And I feel like I wanted this to be a more grounded film when I was writing it, so it would have just been so goofy. But I don't know. If I were to do that, I'd probably have the time of my life writing it. But this was my coming out film, like I think I've already said. So I was more emotional. I wanted it to keep it grounded. And speaking of real life inspiration, this scene was inspired by real life too. When I was in lockdown, especially, for some reason, my closet was used as my sister's closet as well. So obviously, I had a bunch of dresses in that closet from my sister, and at like 2 o'clock, midnight, whatever the people were in my house were asleep, I'd try on and sneak some dresses on because that's what you do as a queer kid. And I'd wear those dresses, I would be like, oh my god. And it was such a nice feeling. Felt so great. Like, honestly, if you're trans watching this and you haven't tried on a dress yet, do it because, well, do it if it's safe, obviously. Don't get murdered trying on a dress, please. Don't do that. But, do it because honestly, the feeling, especially the first time doing it, I'm a bit desensitized to it now, but the first time doing it is like, wow, it's such a good feeling. But yeah, anyways, this scene, that's coming up, the big speech. I so wish, even back then, I so wish that I scripted it like longer than 5 minutes. Because 5 minutes was what college wanted us to do, and I know people on the course were wanting to make it longer, and they did. But me being a good student, I stuck to the 5 minutes, even though it kind of degraded the film because I made it simpler than I wanted it to be. But yeah, this speech was pretty much like the words that I said right here are raw, authentic emotions that I was feeling while I was writing. I was just writing what I was feeling at the time because I had just come out. And you know what? I'm so surprised because I did it in class, next to people, in class. And I'm so surprised because I was on the verge of tears and no one asked me if I was okay. So I'm so surprised I didn't get caught almost crying while writing a script. I remember just almost on the verge of tears while writing that because it was so real. But yeah, I so wish looking back that I just made it longer than 5 minutes because like I feel like it kind of degraded the film, degraded the authenticness because I had to simplify so much to where it just felt like a sanitized like BBC type of like coming out film, and I don't feel like even at the time it was like a film that was like authentically me as I wanted. And maybe part of that is because I did it live action and not animation. I feel like with animation, I have more freedom and more creativity to be myself because animation is my thing. And I feel like if I really want to go back to like the idea of making a personal film, and next time I do it, I am going to do it animation because I feel like that is where I'll make the film me. But yeah, tell me in the comments if you'd like to see that because the more encouragement I get from comments, the more likely I'm gonna do it because I'm kind of in like a crime drama era right now, and you know what? I might need to break free from that. So yeah, comment below if you'd like to see the more personal animated film, like a Hershey 2, but it's animated. Or just if you want to see more films in general, just hype me up in the comments, guys. But yeah, I'm gonna go now.